everyone, welcome back to my channel.
Your love is rated X. That means that
Today's video is going to be a video about middle school advice, and here we have Amaya. I'm going to say always write your homework down so that you do not forget it, because it's just better to have a planner, or a piece of paper to plan your homework assignments down so you know what you're doing first, what you're prioritizing, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I agree with that because you think you're going to remember, but you never really do. I think it should be organized. Like, you think that you're going to remember everything, but you're really not. So if you're organized and you have, like, a planner, and, like, if you do clubs at your school or after-school activities, you should write that down, because sometimes you start to think that you're in the wrong day. Like, it could be Tuesday, and you think it's, like, Monday, but you're really in Tuesday. So it gets really confusing. So I think you should be, like, organized and have a folder for all your homework and classwork for, like, each class. Stuff like that, so be organized.
I would say my next piece of advice is, like, choose your friends wisely, because middle school is the time where people are starting to have cliques or different groups of friends, and people are not always that welcoming because, the hormones are coming in, and puberty is hitting the earth, for the middle school community, and people they can have a really bad attitude. So I would say not tell everyone, like, your secrets. Like, make sure to be careful what you tell people, because you never know what people are going to pull up in your face. Not that it's ever happened to me, but I know people like have drama and they get mad with people who share their secrets. So I would just say to be wise about what you're telling people and how you say it.
But yeah, I agree with what Nevaeh said. I also think that, like, you shouldn't get, like, of course, if, like, you're just emotional, but, like, I don't think you should get, like, sad or disappointed.
Take things personal.
Yeah, don't take everything personal, unless, like, someone really says something directly, like, unless they're like, Nevaeh, you look really ugly. Then, like, if they're addressing you, I mean, she's not ugly. Yeah, but, like, if they're addressing you, then of course you should take it personally. But, like, sometimes I don't know, people just say things that they don't.
Like, you shouldn't, like, actually believe it, but, like,
don't believe everything. That's basically what I'm trying to say. Thank you, because don't believe everything that they're telling you, because this is like the age people start to lie about stuff like, why are you lying?
Or people start to be teasing other people because
about
they feel
stuff
jealous
that they have or don't have or something. Like, so just be honest and don't believe everything that everybody says, because it's probably not true.
Yeah, gossip is in the air.
Yes.
Okay, I would say my next piece of advice is always, this goes for anything from middle school and up, even in college too, to, like, have good relationships with your teachers, because, like, that will help you. Like, if you're going to a private school, or you want to go to a really good school that requires recommendation, then you're going to want to have a good impression in your classes, so you can't just be, like, a whole mess in class and expect to get a good recommendation, have the teacher lie for you. Make sure you're being respectful and listening so that they can treat you respectfully back.
Yes, I want to add on. My advice is adding on to what she said. Like, yeah, be respectful, but, like, if the teacher, of course, is being rude to you, then you, like, stand up for yourself, but don't be, like, disrespectful.
Don't be swearing.
There's a way to, like, stand up for yourself and not being disrespectful. Like, teachers, like, saying, oh, get out, like, because you're talking or something, and you know you weren't, then you can
you can ask, like, is there a reason why I'm getting out?
Yeah,
like,
I wasn't talking. Yeah. Like, that wasn't me. But, like, don't cause a whole scene in your class and, like, what? I was talking. What do you mean? You're not a good, like, because that just causes a bigger scene and stuff like that. So always, yeah.
I want to add on to that again. So, like, although you might have not been talking, you must have been doing something off task. So make sure, like, you're on task, because I am always getting distracted in my classes, especially when I'm next to my friends.
So I'm very talkative. Yeah, I like talk a lot about everything. I'm pretty loud. So I'm always talking in class and stuff like that. But, like, I don't get in trouble for it. Like, I know when to shut my mouth. But, like, she would be like, Amaya, can you stop? I'm like, okay, sorry. But, like, so just don't always talk. You don't need to be the loudest in the class. Don't always talking, because it's not always important. But we don't want you to, like, get so stressed about school you walk into school, I don't have any friends, or you have friends, but I can't talk to you right now. I gotta, like, of course, if you're failing, then that's how you should be. But, like, if your grades are good, or you feel confident about yourself, of course you can talk to your friends, socialize. You need to socialize to make people. You should socialize, But don't always be like, oh my god, did you put this in teacher's trying to, oh my god, did you put this in teacher's trying to talk to you, and you just talk like, just so,
Speaking some gibberish.
so balance it, socialize and hit your score. But I think your score should be a little higher, but you know.
Okay, so I have like an idea that comes off of that. So like I would say the next advice is make sure to prioritize like what your activities are. So say if you are like an athlete. So I know a lot of teachers at my school say that if you're an athlete, then that means that they should be even more dedicated to your like actual classwork than like a regular student is, because you have to be able to work in your actual classes in order to get on a sports team, because you have to prove your commitment. Like you can't just be really good in basketball but then have a D in all your classes or be failing all your classes. Like academics should be coming first before athletics. So always, even with clubs and things, if you have too many clubs and you're not able to get your work done, or you're feeling stressed or overwhelmed and you can't, like, you should be able to socialize like Amaya said, but you shouldn't be having like too much of one thing going on. You should be able to balance it out, like she said.
Yeah, balance it out, guys. Yeah, I also think that if like you're really like that confused, like failing or not understanding what you're doing, because sometimes it's not all about that, but like if you're not understanding what your class is or you're failing or something, you should really like talk to your teachers and your coach, because then your coach or whatever, your club leader, whoever, will realize that you really care about your grades and you still want to be in the club. So if you talk to the leader of your coach or whoever and tell them like, I'm failing, but I know this is not good.
You want to
get better. So always like tell somebody, and so you can ask, because closed mouths don't get fed.
Always ask for help. Like I know the other day, I said it in my last video, but there was this kid, like we were just going back and forth, and I was telling him that you can't just expect something to be handed to you. You have to go after it if you know that you can't have it with someone just handing it to you. So I know a problem that I always had from 6th and 7th grade and a little bit of early 8th grade was that I would not ask for help. Like I would expect that I can do everything by myself, and because I felt like I was so smart and I shouldn't have to be able to ask for questions. Like I can do it on my own, which doesn't always work out, because I remember I got an F in my class one time for like a progress report, and so like because I was having trouble on the homework, but I didn't want to ask my family for help because I felt I was making up excuses. I was like, oh, but you're doing that, but I could easily have asked them questions or asked my teacher questions. And if you don't have time to do tutoring outside of school, because I know I don't have time to do that, you can always go take free time out of your school day that you don't really need, like during lunch or before school starts, or maybe the last period of school where you have study hall, wherever you have that. Like that's your time that you should be talking to your teachers to get help for what you need, so that you can be prepared for homework or a test grade.